Leaders talk about AI as if it's going to save them from the very problems they've been avoiding for years. Misalignment, slow decision making, unclear priorities, people rowing in opposite directions. What they're not acknowledging is that AI doesn't erase dysfunction, it amplifies it, it exposes it. And right now, organizations are discovering, some unfortunately the hard way, that without a unified team vision and a shared understanding of what matters most, AI can be one more force multiplier of confusion. Stay tuned as we break down what leaders should really be focusing on right now and not distracted by. Don't go anywhere. Hello, my friends. In case you're new to my channel, I'm Alicia Couri, the CEO of Audacious Concepts, Inc. We're a boutique leadership advisory firm specializing in helping leaders accelerate their time to impact in their first 90 days in a leadership role and helping their teams become high performing and results driven by improving communication, collaboration, and cooperation. Today, we're diving further into team alignment. You may not want to admit this, but your teams aren't struggling because they lack tools. We talked about this in a previous video, that they're struggling because they lack clarity. And I already know what some of you might be thinking, but I gave them clarity. I sent the email. I circulated the memo. Except clarity can't be downloaded. It can't be automated. And it can't be handed off in a memo that lands in a dozen different inboxes with a dozen different interpretations. Emails and memos are the biggest source of accidental misalignment inside of organizations because without a shared understanding, every person fills in the blanks differently. Here's an example from my life of what I mean about that. About a year ago, my family and I got trapped in one of those timeshare presentations. You know exactly the type I'm talking about, right? I won't get into how we ended up there, but what happened next is the point that I'm trying to make. You see, the sales agent assigned to us had clearly read a corporate memo that outlined their internal policies. The problem was that she interpreted that memo like it was scripture and completely misread what it actually meant. She kept insisting that our account upgrade violated company policy, and she couldn't understand how we were able to go around the memo as if we, the client, somehow had the power to override their internal system for our own benefit. Her conviction was strong. Her interpretation was completely wrong. The memo wasn't the issue. The lack of a shared understanding was the issue. She wasn't incompetent. She wasn't malicious. She was simply operating from a solo interpretation of a message that was never aligned across her team. And that's exactly what happens inside organizations every single day. A memo without shared understanding doesn't create clarity. It creates more confusion. It creates inconsistency. It creates costly client experiences like mine, and it absolutely erodes profit. You see, she was so adamant about that memo, and she showed it to us, that she completely missed what the intention of that memo was for. When that foundation is missing and you incorporate AI into it, AI doesn't help. It becomes more noise layered on top of misinterpretation. Let me pull back the curtain a little bit and look at what's actually happening inside of teams right now, because these aren't abstract conceptual problems. Here are 7 everyday performance killers that quietly drain productivity and profit. Number 1, decision relitigation. Teams sit in meetings debating decisions they made last week because no one is sure what the real priority is, or if the priority has changed. AI won't fix it. It accelerates the churn. 2, fragmented interpretations of the mission. Ask 5 people what the team is trying to achieve this quarter. You'll get 7 different answers. AI can generate content, insights, dashboards, but it can't reconcile contradictory marching orders. 3, dueling problem-solving style. One person needs to just try something to experiment and see what happens. Another needs a 20-step plan before making their first move, and another is sitting around waiting for permission. AI will only serve to widen that gap because it gives each person a tool that reinforces their natural instincts for taking action without understanding the collective picture. 4, invisible friction. Teams waste days on rework, not because they lack skill, but because they never aligned on the outcome in the first place. AI speeds up work, but doesn't eliminate rework. Number 5, silent hesitation. People aren't speaking up when something feels off. They don't know where the boundaries are anymore. They don't know what's safe to decide or what's supposed to be handed off to AI. So they stall. Number 6, misinterpreted urgency. Leaders think the team is moving too slowly. The team thinks leadership keeps changing direction. AI drops into the middle of that tension and amplifies the pressure on both sides. And number 7, shadow workflows, where half the team is using AI tools privately because they don't want to be judged or they don't know what the rules are. The other half is waiting for official approval, and everyone's working differently and no one's truly aligned. If a leader isn't paying attention, these issues look like personality problems. They're not personality problems. They're vision problems. Many in leadership still treat vision like a poster on a wall, not a decision-making system that governs how the team thinks, moves, and aligns. What RACI and DRI look like on the team. When AI enters the picture, the ambiguity turns into chaos because now the team isn't just misaligned, they're misaligned at speed. And speed without alignment doesn't create progress. It creates more churn. This is why organizations keep investing in tools and seeing zero lift in performance, because tools don't solve the human operating system. AI isn't the complete solution everyone thinks it is. AI is the stress test. It reveals whether your team knows the direction, understands the priorities, shares the same definition of success, uses the same criteria to make decisions, has the trust to move, has the permission to act, has the alignment to execute. And when these elements are missing, leaders mistake AI adoption challenges for, we need more training on this. No, you need alignment. You need a team vision that everyone can interpret the same way. You need clarity embedded into the culture long before you embed AI into the workflow. Here's a high cost that leaders underestimate. Misalignment isn't just frustrating, it's expensive. Every time a decision gets relitigated, you pay. Every time direction changes midweek, you pay. Every time someone hesitates because they don't know how AI fits into their role, you pay. Rework, duplicated effort, emotional fatigue, fractured trust. It's a silent tax on your performance. And right now, organizations are bleeding through without even realizing it. If leaders want AI to accelerate impact instead of magnifying dysfunction, they cannot skip the human foundation. Team vision isn't a nice to have, it's the operating system. Alignment isn't optional, it's the multiplier. And AI isn't the future, it's the pressure test revealing whether your team is built for pace that's already here. Your organization's next level won't be determined by how fast you adopt AI, but how aligned your team is when you do. We have an exciting opportunity coming up. We host regularly these high-level virtual executive forums for leaders to discuss alignment issues and solutions for tackling them. So if you go to audaciousconceptsinc.com, you can check out our latest topic to see if it resonates with you, and you can register to attend our next discussion. You see, these aren't webinars. These are curated peer-to-peer discussions exclusively for executives, so go check them out. And I'll be back with another video on team alignment and AI, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. Oh, and below, I added a cool survey that you can take to identify the level of your team's alignment. And I'll see you soon.